Just realized I got my bonnet on. I wasn't gonna actually film and on this walk, but I do want to say this thing is that you know God is he's a powerful thing, man. And I think a lot of times, like, we go through our lives and we think, like, how can our lives be like this? How can we go through these trials and tribulations? How can certain things happen to us? And this is our Father. This is our person that He does these things, and we question it. And in the terms of like good and bad, I think all in all, like, I think what He truly wants us to understand is to know that, like, no matter the circumstances, no matter how bad it could be, how great they can be, He's been there the entire time. And I think to myself, like there's no way, like, and there's power in that. There's love in that. There's understanding in that. There's wisdom in that. There's perspective in that. And I think for the most part of how I've been like living my life and allowing myself to digest what's going on is that you learn, you progress from this, bro. It's honestly crazy. Like, I think about this all the time. I think about the different ways that I can like move from the knowledge that I have. I definitely think about that a lot. But for the most part, I think the benefit about everything, well, I'm gonna speak on this one thing. I think a lot of times that I lose train of thought when I see people, because like my mind is like working in like different variations, and that I'm like, oh snap, I gotta move like this, or I gotta move like this. So my mind's like constantly watching my surroundings and everything. I just find that very interesting. I think that's probably like the most interesting thing that I've recognized in my life. At least of the things that I've grown to understand. I definitely look at my surroundings a lot. But going to what I was going back to say is when you look at it, I'm trying to fix my helmet. I'm cooked, y'all. Okay, here's what I'm trying to say. We only have one life. Excuse me. What I'm really trying to say is that, I don't know what I'm trying to say, y'all. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm not living the most fancy life right now. I'm not living in no other light. I'm not putting myself in a situation where I'm in some whole new other thing. I'm just taking it in as an opportunity to learn. I'm not trying to be this macho guy. I'm not trying to be no other version of myself, because I played so many different roles in my life where I'm looking at it and I'm like, you know what? I want to play the role of a go-getter. I want to play the role of someone that gets the job done. I don't want to play. I want to be the player. You know, I want to be that great. I want to be that understanding, that knowledgeable about the things that I do. That's the version I truly am. Like when I'm working out, like I truly lock in, you know. Like I literally look at this situation, I'll be like, there's nobody that can compare to who and what I've got going on. Not only that, I grow to the point in my mindset that I feel like I'm just unfuckwittable, right? And I truly want to be the best at things. And I think everybody like, we look at this, we look at other people and we're like, oh shit, like they're the best in this field or they're the best in that field. And the way I look at it is like, I have the opportunity to be the best at whatever I try, whatever I put my mind to, just because that's who I am. And I think that's something that God has given me. Like I'm so I can adapt to any situation. I can adapt to any thing. Put me in a situation. If you put me and say, oh yeah, you gotta become a boxer by the end of the year, I'll become a boxer. I could learn chess. I could be the best chess player in the world. I know this because like my mind has always been this way of like dominating in a certain aspect. When I played football, I used to like get mad about this because I'm like, damn, I'm 25. I low-key could have got drafted. And I think that is the truest fact ever. I think every person that goes to sports and they play this, no, I think my mindset was always the league. I think when I got to school and I decided to like graduate early and stuff, I made the decision. My senior game, I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I think if I'm playing lights out games and I got coaches that coming from Division I schools for these other players and they see this one player that's going crazy, but you guys see that there's no spot for me, you know what? Fuck it. You know, I was about to take it. That was it. I'm like, I hung my shoes up. I called it a day. And to see the people that I've, you know, may have mentored or grew up with in the league now or played with, it's like there was nothing stopping me. I think everybody knew that, like, I got niggas in the NFL talking about like, yeah, he that nigga, like y'all would have like, he that nigga, like that shit hard. Crazy. But my mind was like, you know what? I don't think nobody believed in me. And I think I was also timid, but like, damn, I gotta go prove myself again. And I think that's what deterred me from playing college ball was like, bro, I gotta go prove myself all over again. It's like, this shit don't stop. And I realized that's life. That's the crazy thing is that we go about our lives and we think like, oh, like, damn, I don't have to prove myself. That's how I went. I'm like, damn, I reached my pinnacle. It's high school, boom, we go to college, boom, out of this shit. No, you have to constantly prove to other people that you're that nigga or you're that person. You feel me? Like, and that's how I kind of deem it right now. Is like, I'm at the point in my life where I'm like, I'm just trying to prove to myself that I'm exactly who I say I am. I'm exactly that decisive leader, you know, mastermind of creation and creativity and director and designer and, you know, like all these different variations of this creative person that I am, but very just professional at this point. Like, I want to become a professional. I don't want to be an amateur because, like, honestly, if I'm about 6-7 years in, you know, owning a business, and I've already gone through so many ups and downs, and it, you know, like, that shit is just insane to even think about. It's just like, damn, what's the problem? And for the first time in my life, I'm actually seeing like, damn, if I would have actually took this serious with Facebook ads and actually knowing my stuff and actually taking in consideration, I probably would have been in a better financial situation right now. But look, this is God's plan. So that's kind of how I'm like been looking at it. And not even goes back to my earlier talking points is I'm not mad about that. You know, like I'm actually grateful for the position I am in right now, because I just know, like, at the end of the day, like, me being at this bottom and me working my way up, like me getting 7 sales, like I'm at $500 of sales from running Facebook ads for like the last 10 days, or I believe the last 8-9 days, right? So now I'm like, I look at this, I'm like, oh, I have something going. I'm learning every day. I'm waking up. I'm doing what I gotta do. I'm doing my morning routine. I'm doing all these different things that are making me better. So yeah, I have not shaved. Yeah, I have no lining. Yeah, I have my bonnet outside. Yeah, I don't have a girlfriend. Yeah, I don't have my own spot. Right? All these different things that we hold of value. But one thing I do know about myself, and one thing I always knew about myself, and one thing I'm grateful that my mom always prayed about this for myself, is knowing that I've always been that guy. Like, I think that's one of the biggest things I will say about going back to that point of like, oh, you haven't proved yourself over and over. Everything I've ever done, everything I ever touched my hand on, been in subjects, if I was in a team, I'm always the leader. If I'm in a class, I got A's. When people shit on me, that absolutely got me fucked up, right? That's just my mentality. But what I was saying is, my mom always prayed. You know, my mom always knew that me and my brothers, let alone, will always do something, right? It may take a longer time to get to that version that we want and that she prays for, right? But every single time, it always proves and shows he's capable. When my brand started going off, it was like this was in the making. This was already knowing and trusting. You know, this was going to Paris was like an opportunity to understand that this was already meant to happen. And with that being said, it's just like, when you see that and you learn that and you understand that, or like going and playing and being a top football player, it's like, that's reminiscent. I don't really care about the football shit, but like stuff like that, like proving yourself, knowing your worth, and knowing that you're better than what people think they think about you. It's like, that's, for me, I'd be like thinking about that shit. I'm like, damn, like there's no way, because when you actually move to a different situation and you actually do things that are on a whole different caliber of what people see what you got going on, I already won the game, bro. I already won the game when I was born, bro. Yeah. I was gonna chop this video up into different pieces, but you know what? I'm just probably gonna drop it, release it. Just my thoughts, bro. I think that's all I can say. Like, I'm not surprised. Like, even when I was talking about like, and I'll hit on this one more go around if I go win, is when I say I've already won, or when I think about books like Think and Grow Rich, where it's like you're manifesting all these different things. Look, I told people I was going to Paris before I knew I was going to Paris. I told people like, yeah, my brand's going to do numbers. I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. It is not their fault for people that don't believe in you. It is not their fault. It's okay. They don't know. You know, like, you clearly have a vision for a reason. And when I think about like what I got going on and how my worth ethic is, it's so pivotal to understand that like when I know when I'm gonna win, I know I'm gonna win. I already knew I was gonna win way back then. So like me having type shit. Alright, but me already having that perspective of saying, you know what, I'm going to lock in. I'm gonna hit the gym, I'm gonna eat better. I'm gonna work on myself. I'm not gonna focus on girls. I'm not gonna focus on, doing all these things, going outside and prioritizing different things that have no value to my life at all. I'm not prioritizing that, So I know how I work hard. I worked hard my entire life. When I was at school, bro, my freshman year, I got a job and I was busting, like, I worked in the cafeteria. And when I worked in the cafeteria, bro, I was washing plates for like $8.25 an hour, bro. And I was the best wash plates or whatever you want to call it. I was that dude. So for me, how I look at it is like, I've always done it to the highest degree, And then I made relationships in there, but I always came on football. I was always the person that was coming in and working overtime on Saturdays. And then I did the exact same shit for I was worked at Walgreens. I was working overtime like a motherfucker. I was working overtime at Amazon. I was working overtime at Best Buy. I was working overtime at this damn security job. I was doing overtime, but this is a thing. I'm literally a hard-ass worker. When I was playing football, I was taking the initiative to train my damn self at home. Like, these are the things that are already acquired. When I was at school and I was learning and I was struggling. But what did I do? I took myself of my own wit, of my own nature, and I took my ass to that library on the weekends. The times when I wanted to go to clubs, I literally didn't go to the club or to the bars, and I stayed home and I worked on my brand, bro. So like, nobody can really tell me anything different about how hard I can work, right? So that's how I kind of take into consideration everything that I got going on. Is just like, I'm never gonna doubt myself, bro. Because if I actually apply myself, and right now I'm applying myself, and that's why I truly believe that's why God is blessing me with these opportunities of making these sales and doing all these different things. Even though I may fail some days, or I may doubt myself some days, I still trust in Him to understand that I'm meeting Him halfway. I'm learning and I'm growing and I'm applying the opportunity to be better, the opportunity to have understanding, and not just be and not be that type of person anymore, bro. So take it from me. But yeah, like, I'm a simple guy, bro. Me personally, bro, like, I think at the end of the day, like, I want a wife, I want kids, I want a family, bro. That's like that's not my top thing. Like, I honestly think I'm gonna be like the best dad, bro. And I think the only reason I say this is because, like, that's something that I truly want out of life. And I wanna give them the stuff that I didn't have when I was young, bro. I want to give them the confidence to know that, like, you can look after people and you can care for other people, and but always, be able to put yourself first, put yourself in whatever desired outcome that you want out of this life, you can really achieve. So that's something that I really am gonna, allow myself to push that through with my family. But not only that, but like, I'm a family guy, bro. Even though like I grew up in dysfunction, I'm a family person, bro. And I really take care of my peoples, bro. And I've always been this way. I'm not a person that's gonna literally shit on anybody. I really can't shit on any. Well, honestly, if you try me, like and that's another thing too. I think a lot of times people think like, oh, this demeanor of me, like, bro, I'm like this all the time. Like, I'm chilling. Like, I'm chilling. I'm nonchalant. I'm not. Well, I wouldn't say nonchalant, but I'm not thinking I'm not gonna do too much. It's very, very hard for somebody to take me out my element, and so it's just like, but I will say nobody has actually seen me out of my element. I think only a few people other than my family has seen me out of my element, but like, even those few people that have seen me out of my element, that's your fault. It's not my fault. That's literally your fault. But yeah, I mean, to touch back on what I was trying to say is like, yeah, bro, all I really want is a family. I want to take care of my peoples. I want to give back a lot. I think, yeah, bro. Yeah, I definitely getting married is definitely on top of my list, bro. I will say this though, for my future wife, bro. If you ever watch this video, if you ever see this video, if you ever make it to the end, yeah, my bad. I was trying to lock in, I was locked in. I needed to get my shit together, man. I needed to get my life together for you. So just know that the version that you do have is he's gonna take care of you. You feel me? And I got my kids. Kids gonna be great. And then my family, man. Every person that ever helped me or helped me push myself, I definitely, God's on our side, man. But this is just a testament of just believing and knowing that, all the wealth, the riches, and all those different things will come. You just gotta trust God fully and know that at the end of the day, He has us no matter what. So that's what I'm really depending on and being grateful for. I'm excited for the chapter, this new chapter, everything, man. So that was my walk. That was my walk and talk session. I gotta go drop a package off, but it was good talking. It was good putting this out there. But